Can you remember any of the crew?
He always had top-class professionals, sound, lighting, cameraman. Everybody was top class. The impression that I got, of course, which probably was part of his, I don't know, but he was attempting things, and I've said this before, that I shouldn't think the budget could be expected to carry. And he certainly, perhaps he did come in on whatever budget it was, but that was thanks to the fact that he worked himself into the ground and he employed top professionals. It wouldn't do with Patrick not to be a top-class professional.
Did you ever meet George Markstein?
Well, I knew Mr. Markstein after, I think, that relationship, or anyway, but I got to know George, and he was somewhat disgruntled and said that really Patrick had treated him very badly, that it was really his original idea. He was implying that Patrick had hijacked the idea. That's what he was implying. You hear that. They had a disagreement. Patrick has these ideas. I'm sure Patrick extended on them or disagreed with the way that George wanted them to go. That's what you were talking about earlier, that George wanted to hold it one way and Patrick wanted to extend it in a way that George perhaps didn't want.
What was David Tomlin like as a director?
He's a man totally without pretensions. You know, I like him very much. I don't think he pushes his talent, you see. Patrick says, you can do it, or you know, you do it, you can do it on your head, and sure, you can do it. And nobody else would say that to David Tomlin, or is unlikely to say it, because you've got to sell yourself as a valuable director, haven't you? David wouldn't be bothered with that. I mean, he couldn't. It's like him refusing to be interviewed. He would say, well, I've got nothing to say. What have I got to say? In actual fact, because he's an intelligent man. Oh, he's a dear, absolute dear man. And, you know, has just quiet professional respect for the actors, which isn't as common as you might imagine, particularly in these days of the institutional theatres, when failed actors from Oxford University and Cambridge University take over the National Theatre and finally take over, apparently, the British Theatre. You know, they have scant real inner respect. Yeah, he has a quiet, unpretentious, I like David Tomlin. And I asked him a few questions because about filmmaking, I remember. Because he knows his business backwards. He knows the film industry. He's been observing as a first assistant all sorts of directors, and sure, he can do it himself. And it's quite possible that he can do it better than the directors.